Hello and welcome to Church at Home with Rachael for Thursday, the 19th of May. Today I'd like to talk to you about three little letters, W-R-T. Now, in my world, I don't know shorthand. I've never learned how to do it, but I have like little things I do when I'm writing. And whenever I write W-R-T, it means with respect to. It reminds me of what I'm referring to. However, lately on the news, I've been seeing something about this white replacement theory thing that's happening and the shooting in Buffalo last weekend. And it's really disturbing me and making me wonder what is going on. And I don't think it's just in the States. I think we're seeing things like this in smaller pockets, but I think we're seeing things like this sort of popping up in Canada in some of our more extreme groups that they're floating around. And I'm afraid that with so much of the movement toward issues like this in the States, that it will just gain traction here in Canada. That scares me. So, white replacement theory. First of all, I think it's ridiculous. The idea that another group of people is intentionally trying to replace or annihilate another group of people, what? Things happen, evolution happens. If in evolution, the white person is evolving out and is being replaced by others, maybe we are doing something wrong as white people. Maybe our, the way we're behaving is a devolution. We're devolving, which it feels like sometimes. But the fact is that I don't think that we need to think that way. I think we need to think in terms of, first of all, humanity, not color barriers or us and them so much. This idea that there's some kind of a white moral majority, I don't know, was there ever one really? I mean, we talk about it, but at no point should there ever have been such a thing. The fact that the bulk of, the majority of people may have been white at one point in the United States and Canada, although if we look back a little further, before the whites all showed up, there were a whole lot of indigenous peoples here, a lot more, millions and millions more than we like to admit. So the whole white replacement theory, maybe it's becoming a big topic among some people because it's exactly what happened when white people came to replace the indigenous. But the idea of white replacement theory, this idea that other people who are just going about their lives, living their lives, doing their thing, are intentionally, as, I'm not going to say a race, because the human race, we're all human beings. So different colored people, different ethnic people, intentionally having children so that they can outpopulate the whites. Okay, that sounds a little loopy to me. It really does. I know in my life, I don't think that much about things like that. I'm busy. I work to put food on the table and keep a roof over my head. If I had children, I'd be trying to learn how to do the new math so I could help them do it. Things like that. Like how I think probably the great majority of society does a whole lot more of its living every day, getting up and figuring out how to mind their own business and do what they have to do. Those people who are feeling threatened by things like that, why are they feeling threatened? Is it because in their hearts they carry such anger and racism and hate that they are projecting it onto other people? See, I struggle to understand racism. I know that in my own ways I am racist. I have been raised by, society and culture to think certain things. And over the years, as I have become more aware of these things, I am trying my damnedest to stop thinking those things or noticing those things or, those jokes, those stupid jokes that are in your head because when you were 3 or 4 or 10 or 14 or 22, somebody thought that was a great joke. And we stop. We stopped it. We realize, wait a minute, it's not a joke. That's a put down. That's mean. It's mean-spirited. So we stop doing that. I recognize that I am a white person growing up in a world, in a country that has been predominantly white, on the backs of Indigenous people. And recognizing that some of the great wonders of our society are coming from the gifts of immigration. Remembering too that generations back, my family were immigrants as well. So it's chicken and egg here. Like it's not one thing leads to another. Things work together they work together to do bad or to do good, or maybe to be indifferent. Some things, when you bring them together, might just work out to be sort of bland, just like white toast, nothing there. Other things, when you bring them together, may create something wonderful, like multigrain toast. It's better for you. It has more nutrients. It's got more fiber, but it comes together by bringing all of those things together. And for some people, maybe it's like bringing things together and it's more like Pop-Tarts. They may seem good, but they're treacherous for your body. They're not good for you at all. When we bring things together, when we bring people together, when we bring ideas together, when we bring the way that we live together, being differently coming together, we have to make choices about how we come together. And this idea that some people are choosing to believe that they are being pushed out is ridiculous, unless it's not. You see, women have been actively pushed out of things. Indigenous peoples have been actively pushed out of things. Black people, Hispanic people, people who speak different languages have been actively pushed out by other people. Those other people, for a lot of that time, has been white men in power. And now it seems it's those white men in power who are scared of losing that power. They need to grow up. We can have a wonderful society. We can have a beautiful country or countries to live in if we discover that you can peace comes by not fighting. Peace comes by trusting and allowing the other to live into potential rather than assuming the worst. Right now, it is so hard for me as a white woman to recognize and reconcile what is happening with this white replacement theory. Like, this is bull crap. This is ridiculous. If you feel threatened by another, you don't need to pick up a gun. You don't need to grab a slogan or elect a racist for your governor or your senator or your premier or your local counselor. What you need to do is learn to articulate what you're feeling in a way that's not offensive. So, for instance, I am a female priest, and there are people who believe that women should not be priests. Am I going to further the cause of women priests by slamming people who slam me? By telling them they're going to hell and they're wrong and God hates them because they believe that I can't be a female priest? Absolutely not. The minute I start talking like that and acting like that, I shut the conversation down. They are never going to change their minds. They're never going to see that, well, maybe there's a little bit there. Maybe women aren't that bad as priests. Maybe there's a little bit of room for thought. Maybe they're never going to change their mind. But the minute I slam them, tell them they're wrong and they're going to hell, I've closed the door. I've built a wall. There's no way. I built a wall for them to stay behind. There is no way I am going to be able to have a conversation with them that helps them to maybe see a different perspective. But if, when someone comes at me that way, I say to them, okay, I thank you for sharing your perspective. Can we calm the rhetoric down? And can we talk about why you believe that women should not be priests without me telling you why you're wrong? You tell me what you believe, what's important to you, why it's important to you. Then I will have more understanding of where you're coming from. And if I can understand where you're coming from, and I can offer you the opportunity and the way to meet sort of on middle ground or on no man's land, so to speak, then maybe that person will be able to come a little bit further too, and we can have some more discussion. But if I whip out a cannon to shoot you in the face because you hold a different opinion than me, it's guaranteed we're never going to be able to reconcile our differences. I understand that for a lot of people who are buying into this white replacement theory stuff, they're probably never going to have their opinions changed. They're probably never going to have an about face and recognize. But if we react against them, all we're doing is providing them ammunition. We need to learn how to take away the ammunition. We need to learn how to de-escalate the problem. And we need to teach them that we are willing to be in conversation with them, even if we don't understand. We can't make people who believe such theories just disappear, even if we wanted to. We can't make them think like we can, but we can teach them a different way to respond and to react. And by doing to them and hating on them the way they are hating on everybody who isn't white or everybody who isn't a white male, isn't going to help. So that's my thought on white replacement theory. I think it's all hooey. I just do. But I also think that stopping the conversation or not even attempting a conversation is not the way to go. Somehow we need to be able to bring back a sense of who we are as humans. And maybe we've never really had one, but that doesn't mean we shouldn't try to create one. So, no more white replacement theory. How about a theory of humanity as good? A theory where we work together. What do you think? That's what I'll be praying about today. Have a good day. God bless you, and I'll try to be a little lighter tomorrow for Friday. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.